You had 8 years under President Obama. The Justice
there's a Bush
Act,
administration too.
Was taken up virtually.
And look at my.
Graham today Democrats over police reform efforts. Joining us now with reaction. President, by the way, will be joining us momentarily. Senator Graham. You know, we had Ferguson. Barack was president. Joe was vice president. We had Baltimore.
So what about, so this guy gets in line. I had a little bone pick with that, you know what I mean? It's because it seems to be that the better than average curve and something like that is something that's been projected into ideas of people from like a trajectory point of view, from a yearly span or a 10-year span. And I'm like, why does that have to be the case? I mean, I can see what you're talking about statistically, but if you're talking about whether it be entrepreneur, whether it be capitalistic ways, whether it be company type limited liability, I'm talking about like in terms of like, oh, okay, well, it's cheap labor, and so it's always typified as cheap labor. You know what I mean? The Americans is cheap labor. But you assault. So when you make an example, I can see with antithesis of non-cheap labor or no labor at all, right? And so that, or no production at all, right? Okay, but now if you don't make that such an unlopsided, if you don't not make that such an unlopsided equation, then really, well, what is it that you're doing? I mean, you're basically handing over the nation to directionless, derelict, aimless, what do you call it? No goal having, it's just garbage. I mean, you know what I mean? And so, if you don't, and I'm saying, whether it be like, you can't really, I'm not going to try to beat Hannity or Lindsey Graham on this, Senator Lindsey Graham, right? Okay, so, but it always seems because I'm insulted in that way, and I was trying to, I'm got a little bit of a list here. It's getting dusted from like no justice, but and then the smoke screen of it is it comes from other point of view where it's like how I come here from Spain and something and stuff like that. It comes here from this other point of view where it's like it's not, and you don't want to become racist, but since it's a leftist area, you say it's held as a smoke screen. I'm like, well, what is it? What's it gonna be? Either you're assault and battery or you're assault and battery. I mean, what? But I'm sitting up here being looked at as the person that has all the breakfast made or something like that, rather. Now I'm kind of like, I'm at odds with that. So what? I got flight tape on my shit.
Thank you very much, Sean. Let me pick up what I was just discussing with Lindsey Graham, and that is
President.
Happened under President Obama, Vice President Joe Biden, same with Baltimore.
So I'm still just so with the lopsided equation, with the tenures of what you call it, what you're talking about, the exploitations of what you was the game plan is, the Oregon and Antifa, so what they turned out to be left and right, and right now there's a lot of means of violence, separation by means of violence, and stuff like that. I'm like, well, I mean, if that lopsided equation didn't match up, I mean, if that lopsided equation doesn't add up, and it doesn't add up to the result that you're looking for, the result that the president's looking for. I know it's an ongoing thing, and my mom is getting older, and you tip over an old lady who hits her head on a fire hydrant. I'm like, how you do that? I mean, these paths are narrow, and instead of provoke such type ideas, and like Asian Americans and being cutting in line, corner stores, no, have only 2 exits out or whatever the case may be. Don't leave your car in the ignition, your keys in the ignition, because brazen shit happens. You know what I mean? People like to hop over balconies type. You know what I mean? Everybody wants your fire penal code and all this stuff, and then it's just and then it goes on and on. But I'm saying you get to a point and where like your elder mother is getting older. And something like that. They're in their 80s and stuff like that, and high 70s, right? And I'm getting into where it's like, I know you can see into the future and you want to put water on Mars and start growing like crops, but at the same time, we're kind of like, I'm like, I'm kind of solutionating, like, with this idea, well, like, my liver's not feeling any better, I'm gaining more weight, and stuff like that, and such, and it's not bad, I do count my blessings and stuff like that, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm like, you know, I'm driving down Elk Grove Boulevard, and that's modest, right? That's modest. But I'm like, man, I'm at the top of my lungs, like, what the hell? What? And you know what? Hey, hold on, I'm getting Russian quoted, Lars quoted, lowballed, whatnot. And maybe I'm not, but to sit up here, but I don't. 800 police officers injured and countless deaths, paralyzations and stuff like that, as opposed to what you can't do nowadays at all. What I said, and that's what I'll do, right? And it's such and such, I'll do. And I mean, you know, who's gonna want? You're not gonna get a social worker who works at a mental health clinic to do law enforcement. They're not gonna do administration of justice. You know, it's just not what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm just saying in general. I mean, you know, you know, I don't know. I don't have an answer for it. All the reason to reiterate, to reinforce is basically like this. Yeah, we put that life sentence in your on your forehead or whatnot. You know, since you're running to cashless society or something like that, and say, oh, we want to know if you're lying, we want to see your heart, my God, and see what you're actually thinking. Since everybody wants to read my mind anyway, and that's not legal, right? That's not illegal. That's not illegal. Okay, so now, why don't we read your mind or something like that? Or since you want to go ahead and know Team and Travel Team and the collective society wants to go ahead and do it, why don't we go ahead and get into your mind, start coding around you about what you're talking about, make it say all deep-fake and all this stuff and that, so we can go see what's going on there and make you a little more transparent. You know what I'm saying? We can't see you about anything. Because it's either you don't want to read or you don't want to be read. Or you want to be read or you don't want to be read. It's either one or the other. And that's not so much a predisposition. That's a predisposition that's partial for some people to say, you know what, well, you know what, that's tough luck. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's like me saying, you know what I mean? That's like me saying, you know, like, put a 6-foot condom on it. Well, when sometimes I do because of the book that I see. But it's not the case. I still live by the guidelines of, like, being responsible.
And that includes Seattle, where, you know,